it's always Alecia that is there to answer questions in the chat, answer questions in the Facebook group. I don't know how many people that are watching have had their questions answered by Alecia. So we just want to say thank you, first of all, Alecia, for being so awesome. And tell us a little bit about where you were at when you first started your online business.
Oh, sure. Thank you, Layla, and all these powerful superwomen. I started back when my daughter was little. You know, I was married and just got to, after 6 months she was born, we moved. And I knew we were moving right after I had painted her room, created his whole nursery, and had everything set up, and we were moving. And I was like, what? I just fixed all this, you know, and then we have to move. And so I was teaching part-time, and even part-time was hard for him to watch her. So I knew I needed to stay at home. And when I moved to a new location, I was like, I'm just going to teach piano, you know, like I normally do, and stay at home with the baby. And realizing, you know, it's not going to happen. After I started putting some ads out, getting to know the community, and learned, you know, that there's no music stores there. It was a smaller location, and things are just not working. And I was like, it's October now, and I have no students. You know, I can't go back in the schools, and I'm not making any income. And we needed a second, you know, we needed to supplement just to pay the bills, because we couldn't, even the new house we made there, the market like just crashed and didn't make ends meet. I was like, we can't even pay for gifts for each other, you know. It was like that close, that bad. And I was like, what are we going to do? And that's when I heard his sister was doing some online store, and I was trying to learn from her. I was like, why don't you tell me, you know, what kind of online store? And she really couldn't tell me either. She was brand new in it. So I just sat on the computer while I was nursing my baby, you know, and switching the mouse with my hands, you know, figuring out the mouse with the left hand gets kind of tricky. But I was doing that too. And sitting there just trying to figure out on this computer that's probably about to die, and figure out what can I do to surveys. And I didn't really know how to find a top producer, how to find mentorship. I just was like, well, maybe you can find making money from surveys. and so I did a million surveys just to have fun and test it out. Can you make money from surveys? And so I just do a bunch of questions and just trying to research. So yeah, I was one of those Google ones, and said, oh, well, someone's having an application. Well, maybe I could figure out an application looking more or it's a job online, and ended up realizing that it was a top-tier company. It was a top-tier business, and got started with one of my business credit cards that I had for piano teaching. And I was surprised. I didn't even realize what the limit was on that. So I just got all in and had, you know, a massive startup I just jumped in. And I did some interviews and some questions with some people to understand what is affiliate marketing and what is network marketing. And I learned some of the different types of niches in network marketing. Was some of the travel. I was like, I'm not going to travel. I just want to stay home with my daughter, you know, and what types of stuff I wanted to do. So I got full blown into education products, because that's where I felt like, you know, I've learned how to teach piano, and I know how to do that. So if I'm going to learn how to do this online business, I really need to dive into where the education is, because you can't get this in a university, and I needed to sit at home online to learn this anyways. And at that time, there was not a lot of online universities, and now they're breaking out into more online universities. But at that time, there was not really an option, or it was just brand new to the, you know, university and college atmosphere of having online courses and stuff. So I drove right in and dove into full-blown top tier. And if you don't know what top tier, it's like the lowest product is like $2,000, and said, if I can get a person in for $2,000, that would be a good supplemental income. So I was already on the top tier producer kind of mindset, going, I'm going to make this work. You know, because I put my investment in here, and figuring out how to do this, and just diving in and learning that on the calls. I was on the call with when my daughter was going to bed, listening to Sherry the cowgirl figuring out, Google AdWords and all that kind of stuff. So I was in the game learning what was top tier, what was network marketing, what was affiliate marketing, what was a store online, and just the different parts of it was so different in a way that you were marketing, and I was trying to learn where would I align myself and what I want to have a store, what I want to create income for. And I think that's where a lot of people are going, what do I love? Because I didn't want to travel. I wasn't really passionate about that. So it was the online learning where I just gravitated. My interest was going, if I figure this out, learning it, I know I can help more people learn it too. So a lot of powerful transformations from when you go from having your babies and you're like, I'm going to stay here and figure this out with them, and there's no other option to really go out anywhere, and it just make it work. just figuring out ways to get more of everything. You're getting more people in your business, getting more lead, getting more mindset, all the things that this top producer formula has in there. People can start off with that first $7 and really see the.
You need to work it just a little more. You got to move your body until your feet get sore. Now that's the way you do it to get the highest score. Let's get the party jumping.